up perfectly to go into extra time. Lampton scored exactly the same time Hamilton scored.
I was watching it, and you said that.
Scored again. I dead set thought, because I couldn't see. I was looking off the TV, and I'm like... When you said it, I didn't think anything of it. So I was like, at first I was like, yeah, Jack. But then I was like... Poor Rowan, you know what? So you've gone down there to it? Yep, that's all good. Hello and welcome to 2015 NPL Grand Final Day here on Bar TV. Right now we've got the Under-19s Grand Final coming up live. Both sides just about to come out onto the field. So it's Edgeworth up against Broadmeadow. I'm going to send you up to Blake now for the team sheets for this Under-19s Grand Final.
Thanks, Ben. A big game here today at Magic Park between Magic and Edgeworth. As you can see the sides walking out onto the field now. Magic in all red and Edgeworth in their traditional black and red stripes. For Broadmeadow Magic today, in goals, number 1, Riley Clancy. Number 2, Riley Houlihan. Number 3, Josh Williams. Number 4, Adam Duggan. Number 5, David Ilfield. Number 6, Morgan Okeno. Number 7, Matteo Mazzantini. Number 8, Jaden Seata. Number 9, Trent French. Number 10, Justin McCulloch. Number 11, Tyson Cummings. On the bench for Magic, number 12, Brody Williams. Number 13, John Knezovic. Number 14, Luke Lambert. Number 15, Lachlan Webb. And number 19, Alex Bozanowski. For Edgeworth today, in goals, number 1, Jake Fairhall. Number 2, Vito Cosentino. Number 3, Ryan Van Kemenade. Number 4, Brandon Hayes. Number 5, Paul Holes. Number 6, Jackson O'Sullivan. Number 7, Joe Melmoth. Number 8, Lewis Young. Number 9, Bailey Garland. Number 10, Riley Ferguson. And number 11, Jaden Demir. On the bench for Edgeworth, number 12, Rourke Armstrong. Number 14, Cody Armstrong. Number 13, Will Bauer. And number 15, Aidan Turnbull. Broadmeadow Magic are coached by Lorenzo Sayeda. And Edgeworth are coached by Matt Garland.
So it's all set up for this grand final. Broadmeadow running from right to left of screen and Edgeworth from left to right. Both sides had pretty successful years. Edgeworth in 4th spot on the ladder. Broadmeadow finished in 2nd. Broadmeadow equal first with Western. The only reason Western finished first was because Western scored 4 more goals in the regular season, 47 to Magic's 43. Edgeworth, not as good a year. They finished on 29 points in 4th spot. They finished just a point ahead of Charlestown in 5th. We're underway. Edgeworth playing it back across to the far side of the ground. Sullivan, and it goes down Magic now. Clearing it up the ground is Van Kemenade for Edgeworth. Williams going across to the right-hand side and up the line. Looking for McAuliffe. McAuliffe getting around and Edgeworth clearing out of defence again. So, Blake, it's set up for an interesting showdown because Magic did finish in 2nd and they were pretty close with Western the whole way through the year. But then Edgeworth last week went and knocked over the minor premiers in Western. They had a 1-0 win in the first leg and then 1-1 in the second leg.
Yeah, just the way the finals works, isn't it? It's a mixed bag. Any of the four sides obviously can make it. It's just about who plays better on the day, and Edgeworth were the best over those two legs. I think it's going to be a cracking game here today. Magic obviously feel very unlucky not to have finished first. They've done almost everything they can, bar 4 goals. They've got the same goal difference. They've conceded less, but Edgy just got those 4 more goals. So Magic will be hoping that they can finish today's the grand final winners to make up for them not finishing as premiers.
Well, I was checking out the field before the game, Blake, and it is pretty soft out there. So I'm thinking before the first grade grand final, the field is going to be a little bit chopped up, but it looked perfect before the game, just as you can see now. Probably the only time it looks perfect for today, but the mud will start to come out, and probably halfway through this one, I'm thinking.
Yeah, they do a great job here at Magic on the ground. They pride themselves on their ground and their facilities, which are absolutely top shelf in terms of the NPL. And I can imagine in between games and at halftime, the guys will be out there on the roller doing everything they can to make it look as good as playable as possible for the first grade fixture, and hopefully the rain holds off.
To the far side of the ground with Houlihan, trying to look towards the middle. Went to Sayeta. I'm pretty sure would be the son of the coach Lorenzo. French. French heritage for Magic's number 6. I should say, number 13. I should say. Yeah, French heritage in number 13 out there. Playing it back. Running down, and referee early offside. Magic with a free kick just outside their own area. Magic with the ball just over halfway. Played down the line and over the sideline. Off Duggan there. Still Magic on the ball. Back to the middle of the ground for Williams. Now to the captain, Ifield. Ifield taking it down the left. Still with Ifeld. Gets into the 18. Great run from Ifeld. Sayeta getting in there as well. Edgeworth down towards the corner. They do well to clear it away, but Magic really dominating the early exchange of this one. Edgeworth doing well in defence to keep the ball away. Williams on the ball now. Also played for Maitland and Hunter Valley Hawks as well. A lot of players out there for Magic played for the Hunter Valley Hawks side. Now down the line after it for Edgeworth is Melmoth. He's had a great year, Joe Melmoth. He's scored plenty of goals for them, 5 in fact, in his 20 games. Back for Melmoth again on the ball. Try to play it through. Coming out is Magic's keeper, Riley Hill-Clancy. So just 4.5 minutes gone, the under-19s grand final. It's Broadmeadow Magic and Edgeworth locked up at 0-0. Looking at both the sides, Blake, you've told me your tip. Just want to tell the viewers who you think will get the job done in this one.
Yeah, I'm backing Magic in this one. I haven't seen a game of between these two or that they've played all year, but I think on their home ground in front of their majority of home fans, I think that Magic will definitely get the job done. Also, the fact that they finished equal first, so many points ahead, 10 points in fact ahead of Edgeworth. I think that they'll be too strong today.
Well, there's Hill-Clancy, and he goes out to Williams. Now Sayeta on the ball. In the middle of the park. Coming inside, playing it back on the inside for Okino. Turns it over. Edgeworth come away with it. Poor ball across the ground there from McAuliffe, who disappointed with that one. And Edgeworth now with the throw. Down on that far side of the ground. Demir for Edgeworth. Throw goes their way. Nice throw, Edgeworth. Down the attacking end through Garland. Still Garland. Swinging it in. Magic doing well to knock it away. Throw going the way of the home. Well, you could say the home side, Blake. It's sort of not a home game for them, but Broadmeadow Magic fans probably not as many in here today as you'd normally get for a Magic home game. A lot of Edgeworth fans over the other side of the ground as well as on this side. Hamilton fans not yet here. They're situated on the left-hand side. They got their tent all set up, so Edgeworth have got a big day ahead of them with in the grand finals of all three grades. There's an error there from the Edgeworth keeper. Just went through his hands to Jake Fairhall. And Blake, when Edgeworth had that injury crisis, Jake Fairhall was on the bench for a few first grade games, actually.
Yeah, I think he actually made his debut off the bench against Adamstown.
He's a long-range shot, Magic. Having a go there was McAuliffe. 5 goals this season for him. Trent French has the most for Magic with 6. There was an injury, actually. I remember that Ben Smith was injured in one of the games.
Yeah, there was talks of him maybe having to play out some of the season and maybe the FFA Cup game, but Ben Smith played through his injury.
And then in that FFA Cup game, Melbourne City's reserve keeper, ball over the top, and Fairhall will easily grab hold of that one. Yeah, Melbourne City's reserve keeper had to play in that one as well because Griffin McMaster made some comments about Adam Goods that he'll regret, and he was dropped from the side for that game. Magic taking off down the far side.
Is he the keeper for Melbourne or Heidelberg? I think he's Heidelberg.
Heidelberg, you're right. It was the Magic game. My memory's fading.
Yeah, they were both here, weren't they? So easy to get mixed up. But yeah, tanned overlap. He's the first keeper for Melbourne City.
Well, speaking of Melbourne, the amount of FFA Cup all 3 club sides that are left in the FFA Cup are from Melbourne. So they've had a great year. 5 out of the 8, I think the stat is, because Melbourne City and Melbourne Victory also there. 5 out of the 8 sides are all from Melbourne. So I think it says something about the quality of football that's going on down in Melbourne.
Yeah, predominantly known as an AFL state, isn't it? City.
Yeah,
AFL
that's
state,
right.
Victoria. Are they all 3 from the Melbourne City, or are they some from Victoria, around Victoria?
Well, I'm not sure how far. I know Hume's a suburb, so that's out in the suburbs. Hume are there, Oakley Cannons, and Heidelberg, and I'm pretty sure Heidelberg's close to the city because I went on a geography excursion at the start of the year, and we had dinner in Heidelberg, which is the Greek community in Melbourne. So that's sort of in the city. So I'm thinking Hume and Oakley are a little bit further out. Not an expert on my Melbourne geography. Throw down the line now for Edgeworth. Both sides just feeling each other out in the opening exchanges.
As I said before, Magic, I thought they'd play strongly in front of a home crowd, but you'd almost say this would be, today, all day would be a home crowd in a way for Edgeworth. They'll have an abundance of fans because they're in all 3 grades. There's already a big group of people set up over here to our right, as you mentioned earlier. Well, and yeah. I think that will only get bigger today. Or will only get bigger once especially for first grade, once the 19s boys and the 22s finish up their games. I'm sure most of them will stick around to support their first grade side, and it's very early. It's Father's Day as well. We should mention Happy Father's Day to all the dads out there. But so people may roll in after breakfast and lunch. So I assume it's going to be a very there's going to be some very strong support here for Edgeworth.
Bit of a collision there, and Broadmeadow with the free kick. It's going to be a Houlihan that's going to take it on that far side of the ground. Maybe not. Two colliding there was Demir going up, and Broadmeadow Magic's Brody Williams. Long ball into the box. Edgeworth knock it away. captain now, Ferguson. To this near side of the ground. Ferguson playing it across the far side of the ground. Lewis Young. Now down the left with the ball was Hulls. Younger brother, I'm pretty certain of Dylan Hulls, the Edgeworth midfielder. That one off the side of the boot of Costantino, and Magic with the throw.
If he's anything like Dylan, he could be a real game changer here. There's a lot of expectation today on Dylan Hulls and a lot of those young boys in the front third in first grade for the Eagles. Brody Taylor, Brent Hamill, Brenton Olzema. I think we're in for a very good day here. And
well, there's plenty of goals in both sides. Plenty of goals in both Magic and Edgeworth. Highfield going towards the middle of the ground for Williams. Now Edgeworth playing it out. Turned over to Sayeta. Looking at the shot again for it was McAuliffe. He had a long-range shot a few moments ago, went over. Sayeta again on the ball.
Yeah, Magic are really starting to find their groove here, Ben. I think it's the 12th minute. I think by the 25th, I wouldn't be surprised if Magic have one or even two goals.
So a reminder, the 22s grand final straight up after this on Bar TV at 1 o'clock. The Jets youth taking on Edgeworth in that one. Should be an interesting battle between those two sides. Free kick goes low and straight to Ifield. Edgeworth ball over the top, and that one's going to go straight to Hill Clancy, who's had 17 starts for the under-19s this year and also 12 times a substitute for the under-22s. And also was a sub for first grade at one time this season. Mazzantini to Aquino. Now on this near side Ifield, playing it towards the middle of the ground. Edgeworth knocking it up the ground. Oh, collected him. Maybe with the boot. It was Garland that got collected with the boot referee just giving both players a little bit of a talking to, but no card looks to be shown. Referee wanting that one taken again by Edgeworth. So, yeah, Edgeworth, they didn't have a great end to the year, actually. They had a couple of losses and a draw to South Cardiff, and they played Western actually 3 weeks in a row before the finals. 17-18, I should say 18, semi-final first leg and semi-final second leg. So they got to know Western pretty well, did the Eagles. Costantino, middle of the ground now for Van Kemenard. Definitely moving the ball here from Edgeworth, and now some space for Ferguson. With the shot, he puts it wide. And Blake, you'd have to say that's probably the best chance of the game we've seen so far. The Edgeworth fans very happy with that one.
Yeah, definitely. I was just saying that Magic had found their groove, but that's probably the best chance of the game so far. I think it's fair to say he probably should have put that one on target, but in a grand final, the first real chance, you can let him off with that one. But Magic definitely going into this game as favourites. Edgy would definitely want to start taking those chances if they come again soon.
Off the back of one of the Edgeworth players into Aquino in the middle of the park now for Magic. Over the top and well defended. Van Kemenard getting his boot in. But Magic coming down into the attacking end. Lovely ball. And into the middle. Fairhall does well to take that one. It was French going down the left-hand side, Trent French. Played his juniors at the Canobolas Rangers and Western Mariners FC. And he's also put in his little bio on for Broadmeadow Magic that he's often mistaken for a 29-year-old. So he's over on this near side, the number 9 for Broadmeadow. From an Indigenous background as well, Trent French. Knocked up the ground now to Garland. Ferguson was near him. He had an early chance. Riley Ferguson just put it wide. And here is Trent French going down this near side of the ground. Good tackle from Cosentino, and Magic with the throw. Here he is. There was Trent French just on screen there. Here's Aquino. Back to Aquino again. Mazzatini now a ball through for Garland. Well, Garland, can he get in front of his man here, Garland? He has the shot, and he just puts it wide, Bailey Garland. And that's a couple of golden opportunities, Blake, for Edgeworth.
Yeah, that was just great defending, to be honest. He's done a great job, though. I'm just trying to get which number it was. I can't really...
It was Brandon Hayes getting... so I should say that's Edgeworth's number 4. It was Adam Duggan for Magic getting back there and making a great defensive chase. And I'm pretty sure he just got a foot in.
Yeah, it was a super effort, and I think he's definitely saved a goal there.
As it's whipped in by Edgeworth. One of his best corners, and over the top, and French is after it. Cosentino getting his boot in, and now Magic with some space down the left. Plays a lovely ball through. Chance for them. The shot. It's a great goal. It's a fantastic finish. And Broadmeadow Magic have the first goal. It's Tyson Cummings who slid it past Jake Fairhall. Edgeworth didn't take their chances, and Magic have struck here at Magic Park in the Under-19s grand final.
Yeah, just said, didn't I, that Edgy, after that first miss, that Edgy needed to take their chances, and they have another one. Even though it was great defending, he probably should have got a shot off on target there. He did slow down a little bit, and then Magic go up the other end of the park 30 seconds later and make them pay. So,
well, how crucial was that tackle now from Adam Duggan?
Yeah, it turns out to be extremely crucial, and the attackers usually always get credited with winning the games with their goals, but that's the sort of tackle that wins the game.
Well, it's always said in all sports, defence is what can win you the championships, and Broadmeadow have certainly shown that here today. And I was going to say Broadmeadow, they love to play historically. Broadmeadow sides love to attack. Blake, what do you think they're going to do here with the 1-0 advantage? Keep going.
Nothing should change. It's only 19 minutes into the game. If they changed anything now, they'd be crazy, and I don't think they will. I think they'll just keep playing the way that they do. You'd rather go into half-time at 3 or 4-0 up than clinging onto a 1-0 lead. So
Magic with the free kick there. A bit more spectacular than what it was in the end. Cosentino's coming over and having a chat to the referee. He played his juniors at Adamstown Rosebuds, 17 years of age, and does 20 matches this year for the Eagles. Magic at the back. All the way back now to Hill Clancy in goals. He's going to take his time, Riley Hill Clancy. Knocks it across to this near side of the ground to the captain. Ifield. Ifield again on the ball. Challenge there from Young. Ifield goes to French. Ferguson on the ball going down the sideline, winning a free kick for the Eagles. 20 minutes gone here on Bar TV, the Under-19s grand final. It's Broadmeadow Magic with a 1-0 lead over Edgeworth, and Edgeworth with 2 really good chances. Magic with just the one, and they put that one away. It was a fantastic goal for Tyson Cummings. Young going over the top. Ifield. Looks like there's going to be an offside just on this near side of the ground, and Edgeworth giving that one away. Magic with the free kick. So your tip's going all right at the moment, Blake. 20 minutes in, you've got it right so far. Duggan now back to Hill Clancy. Highfield can't control, and Edgeworth now with a throw.
Yeah, I tip Magic. I'm sticking with Magic, but it's definitely not over yet. I don't think Edgy are out of this one at all. They've got a lot to give to this grand final.
Well, here come Edgeworth again with the corner kick. Off the back of Mazzatino, I should say. And Edgeworth now going down to take the throw is Paul Holes. Here is Holes, whipping towards the back post. Ferguson rose up, couldn't quite get the head on the ball. And Melmoth now down towards the corner. Aquino putting the pressure on him. Melmoth off Aquino, and once again it falls for Magic. Magic, Blake, it's looking like they're definitely pushing up the numbers for the counter-attack on Edgeworth. Edgeworth probably had the better of the field position. Here's a ball through for French. Fairhall comes out and does well, puts his body on the line and saves the day for Edgeworth.
That's one thing typically that Magic are good at, breaking quick in transition going forward. Edgeworth will need to be a little bit cautious of throwing too much too early, because Magic can counter, and as we've seen already, that was a quick little break, well defended in the end by Edgeworth and Fairhall. But
well, here's another break for Magic. It's French after it this time. Here's French with a shot. It goes over. But counter-attacking at the moment at Broadmeadow, and they're causing problems for Edgeworth. And Blake, there's nothing worse than conceding off a counter-attack after you've been dominating field position and really attacking the attack of the match. So Edgeworth are going to find it hard to cope if Magic score another one and make it 2-0, because I think Edgeworth they've created more pressure than Magic so far this morning, I should say. Duggan knocks that one over the sideline.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think they had created more pressure, but in the last 5 or so minutes, I think it's gotten back even. Magic with a couple of little one-on-ones and the goal. So it's a very interesting grand final. It's fast-paced. It's great to see the 19s putting on a show, and that it's not just a boring old kick fest. They're playing some great football out here, and we've already seen a really nice goal.
Now I should just double check the time for this one. Is it 40? They play the full 45?
40 minutes.
40 minutes.
40 minutes in 22s and 19s, and 45 in first grade.
So about 16 now away from half time. Edgeworth knocking it into the middle. Eifeld going up, running away from Melmoth. Melmoth taking it down this near side. Leading goal scorer for them with Bailey Garland as well with 5. Garland had an early chance as well. And Magic again through French down this near side of the ground. Trent French whipping into the middle. There's a chance. Oh. Magic coaches are asking for the penalty, but I didn't think there was much contact there. Fairhall, and going into the box was McCullough for Broadmeadow Magic. Maltese heritage, McCullough. He scored 5 goals this year and played his juniors in Toukley, and also went to Italy with the Milan Academy, so he's had a distinguished early career. Although he did break his wrist in the first game for Broadmeadow Magic this year. Did the number 10 McCullough. He's on the ball now, trying to play it through. French just unable to reel that one in, and Jake Fairhall with the grab in goals. It seems to me, Blake, like with the success of the A-League and the growth of the game in Australia, there's more opportunities for younger players to go overseas and play in those, going overseas. And in the Milan Academy, I think that was in Sydney, that academy. So I think, and especially Melbourne City, of course, being bought by Manchester City, by the owners of Manchester City. And being able to have those academies and those connections with Europe, I think it's great for the younger players of the game these days, more so than, say, 20 years ago.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Opens them up to new lifestyles, new ways of thinking, and new cultures. It's very good. They get different coaching and see football in a different way, I guess. So I think it's a very good thing, as you said.
Garland thought he was playing a game of rugby league, trying to pull one of the Magic players down, and Broadmeadow with the free kick, just probably in line with the 6-yard box on that far side of the ground. Hill Clancy is going to take it. Just maybe a little bit of frustration there, Garland. He really didn't need to pull on the Magic defender. They had them under pressure as it was, and he just gave away a silly free kick. So maybe a little bit of frustration for Edgeworth creeping in. It is a little bit humid actually here today with the cloud cover, making things a little bit warmer for the players out there.
I was just thinking that actually it's not. It looks like it's a cold and miserable day, but it's certainly not, is it?
Yeah, it's starting to heat up out there in the field, starting to get chopped up as well, Blake. I was talking at the start of the game; it looked beautiful, but a few divots starting to appear in the ground. So hopefully it can hold off for first grade, and it's not in too bad shape for that game. Ferguson on the ball, going back. Magic doing well, and across to that far side of the ground from Sayeta. Magic with the free kick. Magic asking for the card, but referee not forthcoming with it. Magic with the free kick just inside Edgeworth's half. No, he is going to bring the card out. The official, so just get the number plate of the Edgeworth player that has grabbed the yellow card. Number 6, Jackson O'Sullivan. First yellow card of the morning in this one. Knocked into the box. It's a well-placed free kick. Farrell rises. That's a great take from Jake Farrell. And now releases down the far side of the ground is Hulls. Edgeworth now, they've got a chance to counter-attack. Duggan on the ball. Playing it to Sayeta. Aquino. Well intercepted there by Edgeworth. Now up for Garland, who's taken down, and Edgeworth win the free kick. Game a little bit stop-starty at the moment, Blake, with a few free kicks going each way.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And just one thing we should mention is Josh Williams, the centre back for Magic. He needs to be a little bit careful here just before half-time. It's a couple of fouls he's made in the last 10 minutes. You don't want to go into half-time with a yellow card and have to play the whole second on a yellow with a chance of getting a red.
Costantino away on this, has it on this near side of the ground. Still Costantino. Back for Van Kemenard. Aquino playing it back to Ifield. Here's a chance for Garland if he can get it through there. Massatini, I should say, it was Melmus trying to get it through. Here is Sayeta going back to Ifield. Slices off his boot and over the sideline. Throw going Edgeworth's way. But really, since that goal, Blake, I think Trent French has had a good chance for Magic, and apart from that, we haven't seen much action.
Yeah, it's slowed down a little bit. Half an hour gone, 1-0 Broadmeadow over Edgeworth Eagles. But yeah, since that goal, that Trent French chance it turned out to be only a half a chance. He got away, but then he got run down and he sliced it well over the bar. So,
do you expect this in the younger age groups, especially in a grand final? You have that energy playing in a grand final, the opening 15, 20 minutes, and then all of a sudden it catches up with you in the back half of the first half, and you start to fatigue a little, and the quality goes out, and the speed and the energy.
Yeah, certainly. Maybe not the quality, but I think both sides are, especially Magic, are knocking the ball around well. I think now it's just more a test of patience and completing passes.
Leaves Demir down the far side of the ground for Edgeworth. Chance for them to get back into the game, Demir. Knocked over the sideline by Houlihan. Holtz going over to take the throw.
It's a very strong tackle. I'm not surprised he stayed down. He's got absolutely monstered there. Number 11 for Edgeworth, who is Jaden Demir. It was Riley Houlihan, as you said, with the tackle, and it was a really, really strong tackle. That's one thing I've noticed about Magic's backline already. I haven't watched them all season, as I said before, but the backline look really up to it. David Ilfield down here in front of us, the left back, wearing the captain's armband. He's made a few crucial tackles. You can definitely tell he's someone that leads by example, and Josh Williams is getting stuck in. He seems like a really physical player. Adam Duggan's already made that goal-saving tackle, and then that Riley Houlihan challenge has still got Demir on the ground. So they look to be a very strong outfit at the back of their Magic, and it's no wonder that they have the best defensive record.
Well, there's on screen now the number 8, Sayeta, Jaden Sayeta, French heritage, and played his juniors at Thornton and the Hunter Valley Hawks. There's a lot of players at Hunter Valley Hawks. Is that a rep football club? Do you know anything about them, Blake?
It's a little bit different the way it is now to what it used to be back when I played. I know they're not that much younger than me, but I know Hunter Valley was a SYL team back in the... When was that? Must have been 2007 and 8 and 9, but I don't know since then.
So what's the SYL?
That was State Youth League. That was Newcastle.
Oh, so it was
Hunter
like
Valley,
all the rep teams from
Lake Macquarie, and then Northern Inland, which I think was Tamworth, and then there was...
Was there Central Coast in that at all?
No. Then there was another side from Port Macquarie. So I don't know if it's still in that format. I know that's Newcastle and Macquarie do have teams in one of the NPL youth, maybe. I remember that being a thing, but I'm not too sure what the Hunter Valley Hawks are. I'll have to do some research on it maybe at halftime.
Yeah, I was going through the Magic info sheets last night, and there was a lot of players that had played for that particular side. Here's Aquino down the far side of the ground for Broadmeadow. Diving in there, Edgeworth was Hayes that was flying in low. Free kick going the way of Magic. And we've got a change for Edgeworth. We haven't got a change. Sorry, Demir was just coming back onto the ground after he left the field with the injury after he was cleaned up by Houlihan. Would this be your average crowd for a 19s on that side of the ground? I know on this side there's going to be a bigger crowd, but how many people are normally at the grounds for the 19s?
At a 19s game, I think this is probably just over par.
Yeah.
In the grandstand, around the grounds, well and truly over par. But
I just wanted to check.
It is a good turnout, and I think that's a very good sign for the day.
Yeah, I just wanted to check as well, because refereeing, it'd be so much different, a smaller crowd compared to just a big grand final day crowd. So he's done very well, the referee, to be selected for this match today. So he's done very well so far. Ball over the top. Garland. Nice ball towards Ferguson. Can he get on the end of it, Ferguson, and grab a one right before half-time? Aquino and his keeper not having a chat. Hill Clancy didn't look too impressed that didn't let it run to him, and French is after it. Played back to Fairhall. A little bit of excitement in the game.
Yeah, not wrong, Ben. Riley Innes is his name. The assistant referees are Megan Holgate and Joel Ralston. The fourth official is Mark Carter. So it's a credit to all the officials today, especially Riley. He's just given out his first yellow card there of the game.
And here is the second one, I think, coming out. We've had let me find it, Jackson O'Sullivan, who's gone into the referees' books already, and now...
Oh, really? I didn't even see that, so
yeah,
there you go.
It came out of the blue. The free kick was given, and then he gave it very late. So here we go. There's another yellow card given out. Number 5, who's Paul Holtz. 5 minutes before half-time.
Yeah, I don't think either side could have a complaint about the ref in this half, which is, something different. Usually everyone's got a complaint to make, but he's done a very good job here. I
haven't checked who the referees for the first grade. I was I was having a chat to the first grade ref last week, Trent Nash, at the end of the game. His parents also, I was having a chat to them about who was going to be selected for the grand final and the competition between referees. It is Trent Nash, so congratulations to him for making the grand final. And funnily enough, I was doing some research, Blake, and he has been selected on the 4th officials panel for the A-League this season. So fantastic work from Trent, who's the first grade ref for the grand final this afternoon. So he'll be on 4th official duties in the A-League this season, which is great for a local referee. Houlihan now, across to Aquino, back to Williams. Mazzatini, back to Williams again. Trying to play it wide into Melmoth. Ferguson getting in there too. Played up the ground, Garland if he's got some speed, but Duggan does well. Plays it back to Hill Clancy. So 3.5 minutes to go before the break here in the Under-19s Grand Final. Here on Grand Final Day 2015 in the NPL. Next up, it's the Jets. They take on Edgeworth. 3 matches for Edgeworth today in the 19s, 22s and the first grade fixtures. Down towards the corner for Magic now. Cummings scored the first goal in the 18th minute. Tyson Cummings. Played for the Jets youth in the past and was the 2014 Golden Boot for the Magic under-17s with 10 goals. So he certainly knows how to find the back of the net, Tyson Cummings. Josh Williams now. Across to this near side for Ifield. Playing it back to Mazzatini. Been controlling things as Mazzatini. And a look back on the inside was McAuliffe. And now Ferguson with the ball for Edgeworth. They've got a chance if they can break quickly. If Melmoth can find the pass. He went to Garland. Cosentino down the line. Melmoth's after it. Duggan coming across for Broadmeadow. Takes it down towards the line. Lovely work from Adam Duggan. He's been brilliant so far this morning. Aquino. Mazzatini back to Aquino. Nice ball movement here from the Magic, from Broadmeadow Magic. Cross to the far side now. They're turning it on. Cummings back on the inside. Trent French. And that was a beautiful passage of play there from Broadmeadow. Coming into half-time. Houlihan. Back to Duggan. He's got some pressure on him. 2 Edgeworth players coming at him. It was Demir and Garland. And now Riley Ferguson. He's probably been Edgeworth's best player, I'd say, Blake, over the course of the first 38 minutes. And here's the first card for Magic. And Blake, you picked it perfectly. It's Josh Williams that goes into the referee's book. He said he had to watch out, and obviously he didn't heed your advice.
Yeah, it was his third foul. We saw that one with the high foot where he nearly took the striker. I think it might have been Jaden Demir. Nearly took his head off. And then he made another foul rushing out of the line and in the middle of the park, and then he's just done the exact same thing there. It's his third foul, and he's the first yellow card for his side.
Well, here's Edgeworth on the far side of the ground, back on the inside now for Young, who's tripped over, and Mazzatini was there, but he did well to regain possession. Cosentino on this near side, so Edgeworth, they'd love a goal right before half-time. There's not long to go, and that one's straight down the throat of Hill Clancy. What do you think the message is going to be from Matt Garland at half-time for Edgeworth? They're definitely in this game. Just Magic on the counter have caused them some issues. This one goes over the sideline.
Yeah, I think they need to come out and play the same as they have in the first half, not worry about the score. Obviously, at some point, they need to worry about the score if they don't get another goal. But they just need to play their own game, play the way that that has got them into the grand final, and hopefully bag a few goals and win the game. There's not much more you can say, really. They've put in a good effort in the first half. They haven't done much wrong. Magic are obviously the better side, but Edgeworth have done a super job to keep it to 1-0 as the 40-minute mark comes up, and the referee's got his whistle in his mouth, and you think it's going to be it is half-time here.
Yeah, so half-time in the under-19 fixture here on Grand Final Day. Magic go into the break with a 1-0 lead. Tyson Cummings with the goal in the 18th minute, the number 11 for Broadmeadow Magic. I should also mention that the 2 other times they've played this year was a 2-1 win to Broadmeadow Magic in round 3. It was a 2-1 win. Magic, that was at Jack McLaughlin Oval, and then Edgeworth came here to Magic Park and won 4-1, and that was I'll just check that one. That was, can't find it. It was in round 11, I should say. So round 11, a 4-1 win to Broadmeadow. So they've a 4-1 win to Edgeworth. So they've split it so far this year, and it's Broadmeadow going into halftime with the 1-0 lead. Blake, just quickly, your thoughts on the first half of action here at Magic Park?
I think, the first 20 minutes was really exciting, wasn't it? Both sides came out all guns blazing. We saw a couple of chances. I think Magic were the better of the sides in the first 10, then 2 chances in the 15th and the 17th to Edgy, which you think they should have put away one. Then Magic made them pay in the 18th with a goal to Tyson Cummings with that brilliant left-footed strike into the bottom right-hand corner. The match sort of evened out. It slowed down a little bit, and Magic go into the break at 1-0. They'll be the happier of the two sides, but anything can happen in the second half.
Well, we'll be back in just a little bit. It's Broadmeadow 1, Edgeworth 0 at halftime in the under-19s final.
Here's your story, let's begin. The water's fine, come on, dive in. The future's here, it's right before your eyes. Step by step, you're on your way. Welcome to a brighter day. Don't you know it feels good to be alive? You could be larger than life, bigger than the world, living out the hopes and dreams of every boy and every girl. You could fly higher than the sky, shine brighter than the stars. You could have all you ever wanted, shoot the moon and reach for Mars. You know you could.
Hello and welcome back to the second half of the Under-19s NPL Grand Final. Broadmeadow to kick off, and the referee, we did have a question on, if you didn't hear us, we were discussing the referee just at the back end, but if you just had to go somewhere or were just turned off the stream, the middle referees Riley Innes, the assistant referees Megan Holgate and Joel Ralston, the fourth official is Mark Carter. So, as we said at the end of the first half, congratulations to all of them for being selected to referee in the grand final. And Broadmeadow get us underway. Aquino on this near side. Playing it towards Cummings, who scored that goal. Scored the goal in the first half. The only goal in the game so far. Costantino, nice little touch on there. And Edgeworth, ball in the middle to Ferguson. Can he get on the end of it? Clancy, well, he took him down. Referee says there's no free kick. Ferguson lying in the penalty area. And Ifield going to give Hill Clancy a pat on the back. Magic's goalkeeper. What were your thoughts on that, Blake?
Yeah, Edgeworth come out all guns blazing. You asked me before half-time what the coach would say. Well, whatever he has said it's definitely paid off, because that was a really good little attack. That was never going to be a penalty. He's reached his head out there, and the ball was, I don't think he even made contact with it. The ball was definitely nowhere near his head. Not nowhere near, but the keeper was a lot closer, and you're never going to get a penalty out of that.
Ball down the middle of the field now for Edgeworth. They've definitely come out with a different attitude in the second half, Edgeworth. Like they did at the start of the first half, I'd have to say, as Holtz goes down the line for Garland now. Looks to be playing a little bit wider at the moment. He was playing centrally in the first 40, I should say. So we'll see if anything does change when they spread out a little bit more. And into the 18, Demir playing it across. Coming back is Van Kemenard. Costantino. Handball against Broadmeadow and Edgeworth now with a free kick. A good position here for them, Blake.
Yeah, it's a good little area. You could get a right footer on this, whip it sort of around to the back stick, and someone make a late run and head it home. You'd hate to see him go short. They don't have numbers in the box. They've only got 3 players, so they may go short. No, he's sending a defender forward.
Well, I think that's a good idea because they lack height up front there, Edgeworth. Magic have got the height advantage on 3 of those duels that you can see in the 18. There's Ferguson. It's an all right free kick, but Duggan got his head there. That's one thing I'm noticing now at the start of this second half, Blake, is the height difference between Broadmeadow and Edgeworth. Broadmeadow seems to be a lot taller. Edgeworth's tallest looks to be Riley Ferguson, I'd say, in the middle of the park. Here is Riley Ferguson on the volley. Not one of his best efforts. It would have been a cracker if it went in.
Yeah, it would, wasn't it? Wouldn't have been, sorry. Little flick over the top, and it's always hard to get those volleys. He's facing away from goal, and it's coming down from a pretty good height. So
sliced off the side. So 3 minutes gone in the second half. 40 minutes of play in this one.
He definitely
under 19s and 22s.
He definitely looks like he's going to be a threat though up front.
Yeah, I think if Edgeworth had to get a goal, I'm thinking it's going to be Ferguson that is going to score it for them or create it. I don't think they're going to be able to score without him today. He's been at the heart of everything that they have done. Houlihan gets under it. Going across is Van Kemenard. Scored just the 1 goal this year. Van Kemenard, Edgeworth's number 3. Plattsburgh, Maryland Jr. Trent French on the ball now. Back to Houlihan. Mazzatini. Back to Houlihan. Duggan now. Playing it all the way back to Hill Clancy. And it looks like it's going to go over the sideline. Edgeworth now. Some good position on the park. Just not finding Demir there, and Duggan goes down towards the corner and knocks it over the sideline. Hamilton fans have turned up just on the left-hand side of screen, just down to the left. You probably can't see the balloons there. Can't see any. Yeah, that's where the Hamilton faithful will be today.
I can imagine that when first grade rolls around, and even just a little bit before, that's going to be packed down there with a sea of blue. It'll be very loud, and there'll be a lot of people down there to our left.
Well, the crowd for last year's grand final, I did say that was a massive crowd at Jack McLaughlin Oval. Here's Ferguson. Looking for Demir, but instead he found O'Sullivan. Across to the far side, back to O'Sullivan again.
Yeah, it was. You're not wrong. The Jaffers had a lot of fans there, but you can't look past Weston. Weston, there was an absolute Amazon of black and white over there, and that left. I don't know what it was. One of the corners, but I remember which one it was. But depends which way you're looking at the ground and whether it's left or right. But it was. There was a lot of Bears fans, and even though they were on the other side of the ground, they were extremely loud. It was great atmosphere that day.
Well, it was unrecognisable, Jack McLaughlin over last year. I couldn't pick which ground it was actually the start of the year. And here is Demir standing over it. So try and get his right foot around this one. Hill Clancy at the near post. So here is Demir, nice free kick, but it was dipping towards the back post, but just didn't dip enough. And Broadmeadow Magic survived that early chance in the second half. Unfortunately, because we are on this side, we won't actually be able to see how big the crowd is on this far side of the ground. No cars allowed in Magic Park today on the as you normally see. It is packed out, full of fans.
Yeah, that is the only disappointing thing for being over here. We've still got a great view, but if we were over the other side, you're right, we would be able to get a better view of the crowd, even behind the goals and on this side to the left and right and in front of us. We'll still be able to get a good view.
But the benefit is you'll hear the effects straight through our effects mic just down below, because there are plenty of fans around, so there's going to be plenty of cheering on this side.
First substitution of the match with Broadmeadow's Riley Houlihan replaced by, just can't get his number, he's just here in front of us. Number 14 it is. He is Jaden Sayeda. Is that right? I don't think so.
The program is wrong. That's what I had down before as well.
Number 14 is Luke Lambert. So I won't look at the program again.
It's whipped
For
in.
names, we'll stick with the team sheet, which is probably the best idea.
Yeah, that's they've had a few changes, Broadmeadow, in terms of kick numbers and that sort of thing. But it is on the far side of the ground, a corner. McAuliffe over there having a chat to Tyson Cummings, who's going to run in this time. Here it is, whipped in towards the back post, well headed away, and on the volley. It's a decent field goal attempt, not a great shot on goal, and it's going to be Edgeworth with the goal kick.
Yeah, unless he's got a really good left foot, I'm pretty sure he's a left footer, that guy. So that's probably his non-preferred foot, and on the half volley, I think that was nearly impossible for him to put in. But a ambitious try. You can't score if you don't shoot, so he'll just be looking to get the next few down.
Yeah, we've had a couple blazed over at the start of this half. We had Riley Ferguson a few moments ago. As now running on the ball is McAuliffe, trying to play it for Cummings. Holtz down and fell over, but Edgeworth win the goal kick, and we've got the helicopter coming in now. Regular occurrence here at Magic Park. Just the helipad just behind the grandstand on that far side of the ground. Here at the home of Broadmeadow Magic. And Duggan. Back to Hill Clancy. Mazzatini. Looking for Cummings. Still Cummings. It was a great finish in the first half. This one's going to go over our commentary position. Just stays inside Magic Park. And Lambert's going to take the throw. So what do you think of that move, bringing on a defender for Broadmeadow Magic? Number 14, Luke Lambert, coming on.
Yeah, I think it's just a like for a like substitution, I guess. It's not a defensive move, I would say. It's just a standard change. I think they'll look to keep playing the way they did all the first half.
Here's Duggan. Ferguson on the ball now for Edgeworth. O'Sullivan across to the far side for Melmoth. Barnsley Jr. Joe Melmoth. Cosentino coming to the back of Ifield. Magic with the ball now. Holtz goes long. He's given a free kick to Edgeworth. I didn't see it. Was very, very late off the ball there from Justin McCarliffe.
Yeah, he's saying that his studs were showing.
Ah, okay. It's a bit of a high foot. Was it a high foot or was it just?
I think he just followed through with his studs in the air, so I think that's where it is. That's
He's coming to the beautiful ball. Mazzatini lines it up on his left, and Broadmeadow Magic with a 2-0 lead. But Mazzatini can thank Cummings for that beautiful little back heel. And Broadmeadow are turning it on now at Magic Park.
Yeah, I was about to say that's a beautiful little back heel, but I thought I'd stop to let you call the goal. It was an obvious chance. I thought I'll come back to it. It was amazing. That's great vision. He had that little wrap around. They'd sucked a few Edgeworth players in field and done that play was done really well. So.
Well, that was beautiful stuff from Cummings.
Yeah, Cummings has his hand in a second goal. He scored the first one and he's set up the second, so he should be extremely proud with that little flick on.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I should do this. Should I make the executive decision that we are going to be doing a man of the match for the 19s and 22s, Dustwind House man of the match, or I might have to check with the producer if we're allowed to give one out for this game.
Yeah, he'd be certainly in the running, wouldn't he? 50 minutes in, he's definitely been a standout up front for Broadmeadow.
And now the ball with Melmoth, asking for the free kick. Duggan over the top, and now he goes French down this near side. French, he's been very good today as well. Goes down towards the line, plays it across. Cummings again getting involved. But Blake, it's a tough one because you always seem to notice the players that do the attacking and the goal scoring, but Adam Duggan as well at the back for Magic. Well, he saved that early chance, and that would have been 1-0 to Edgeworth had the goal been scored, I'm pretty sure, by Garland. And that just changes the game totally. Yeah,
you're exactly right. It was a goal-saving, if not match-winning tackle. I think a minute later, they went up the other end and scored through Tyson Cummings. So it's those sorts of tackles that win your grand finals.
So Magic the goal kick. I should say that it was Sayeta that scored the goal for Broadmeadow a moment ago. At the top. Number 8 for them. And throw for Lambert. Duggan with a good tackle. Back for Sayeta. It's 2 weeks in a row now. I've got the wrong goal scorer. Hopefully I don't do that in the grand final. And looks like Massatini further playing at the back for Broadmeadow. Yeah, a few changes for Broadmeadow. I think Massatini, he was 8 at the start of the. Is he 8 on the team sheet? He is 8 on the team sheet. So that's unfortunate. But Jaden Sayeta with the goal. On the program, I should say. Sorry, Blake, it was the program that he was number 8 on. Here's a ball over the top. Cummings again on the ball for Broadmeadow. Turns around, goes to the back post for French, who plays it across. Lovely shot and lovely goal. Broadmeadow score again. McCarliffe this time with the goal. And it is 3-0 And they are running away with the grand final.
Yeah, again, the goal scorer was Justin McKellick, but another brilliant assist, this time by Trent French. He could have easily pulled the trigger himself and had a shot from a pretty hard angle, which probably would have, you'd think it would have missed or been saved, but he some good teamwork there to cut it back. A very unselfish play, and they get the rewards from it.
Edgeworth now with the free kick, so they got their work cut out for them now with 25 to go. They've got to find goals, and they've got to find them quickly now. Riley Ferguson. Kahiba Jr., 3 goals, 20 games this season for him. Here is Ferguson, not one of his best efforts. Magic not doing a great job to get it away. Van Kemenard across the face. Sits up for Young. Aquino getting in there. A little bit of push and shove, and here's Aquino with some space. Playing it towards Cummings. Cleared away by Hulls. Duggan. The French keep it in. Oh, he does very well, this Trent French on this near side. Adam Duggan. Still Duggan on the ball. Across the ground to Melmoth. And Fairhall with the grab. Demir with the free kick now for Edgeworth, going over the top, looking for Ferguson. Mazzatini in there with Ferguson. Who are a little bit of shoulder to shoulder, but nothing more than that.
This is a really tricky scoreline for Edgeworth now. They've got to throw everything at it, but Magic have the freedom not to have to shut up shop and defend the whole game. So with Edgeworth pouring numbers forward to try and get a goal, I think Magic will keep their shape and they can easily counter, and this could end up 4 or 5 or 6, I think.
Here's Melmoth. Good bit of skill from him. Ferguson on their far side, and Edgeworth win another free kick. A little bit of push and shove coming into the game here, Blake, in the last few moments. Edgeworth seem like they were very frustrated, as you would be, down 3-0 in a grand final. Van Kemenard with the free kick.
Yeah, I think the best way to describe them at the moment is desperate. They're putting everything into it to get past the Magic defence, and a couple of the players have done that in the middle of the park, and Magic are happy just to give away the fouls, which is really frustrating Edgeworth.
Edgeworth playing it across the face, and Highfield did well to knock it away. Van Kemenard got his foot in, but it's going to run down and over the sideline. So almost halfway through the second half here on Grand Final Day on Bar TV. It's the Under-19s Grand Final, and it's Broadmeadow with a 3-0 lead. Back to Melmoth. Got some good ball skills, Joe Melmoth.
Yeah, it was really disappointing from Edgeworth there, though, to see Van Kemenad's ball wasn't the best, but it's gone down right into the corner out for throw-in. That's where Edgeworth needed to pour numbers forward and not let Magic out, but they were a little bit lazy. I don't know if they're a little bit tired. I don't know if the ground's a little bit heavy, but they really let them out far too easy there.
So Lambert with a throw. He's got Sayeta inside in French. He's also got Adam Duggan back. Duggan on the ball. Plays it to Sayeta. Nice back heel to French. That was beautiful play from Sayeta and French is pulled down. Edgeworth giving away the foul. Referee isn't going to the pocket just yet. No, he is now. And there it is. Yellow card. There's a very quick grab out of the pocket of the yellow card from the referee. And it's Paul... Well, it wasn't Paul Hulse that got the yellow, did it? Mustn't have been, because he's already on a yellow. So
yeah, I thought he'd give it to number 5, Paul Hulse.
And I'm pretty sure Holtz has got another already got one yellow.
Yeah, I was thinking that to myself, unless that yellow didn't go to him or the first yellow didn't. One of the two.
Well, we've got to change. Costantino's going off for Edgeworth, and this would have to be an attacking move. It's number 13 coming on is Rourke Armstrong. Scored a goal this year. Will Brower, actually, I should say. Will Brower. He's also scored a goal this year. This one's put across the face, coming to the header, and wasn't far off. Will Brower with his played his juniors at Bulwarra Lawn Junior Soccer Club, and junior zone was Hunter Valley. So another one up from the Hunter Valley. Edgeworth's number 13. And here's Aquino on the ball now, playing towards Cummings. Adam Duggan getting back. Still Adam Duggan on the ball. Goes back to Hill Clancy. Brow putting some pressure on him, some fresh legs. The side of the head there of Hulls. Massatini goes to Sayeta. Sayeta now to French. French has got some pace. Can he get away from Edgeworth's man at the back? He plays it across to Melmoth. Sayeta's coming in at the back post. Still on the ball. That's well dealt with in the end. McAuliffe. Attempted shot from Lambert. Well blocked. Down the line. McAuliffe on the ball now for Magic. Plays it across. Cummings deflects away to French. French with a shot. It's blocked again. Just getting there. It sits up now for Sayeta. And we've got an offside against Broadmeadow. So 21 and a half gone. 3-0 to Broadmeadow Magic in the under-19s grand final. The under-22s up straight after this. The Jets, the emerging Jets, taking on Edgeworth. So not a great start for Edgeworth on grand final day 2015. Cummings down towards the corner, Holtz after it. And over the sideline. Here's Cummings, Aquino asking for it. And now Lambert, some pressure from Demir. It goes all the way back now for Sayeta. Still with Sayeta on the ball. Good tackle there from Edgeworth. And Sayeta goes up. Sayeta goes after it, down towards the corner, plays it across to the middle of the ground for McAuliffe. Aquino, back to McAuliffe. McAuliffe has a long-range strike, but into the back of some Edgeworth defence. Over the top now, Edgeworth down this near side of the ground for Garland. Needs to find something special, Bailey Garland. Plays it across, but there's all red shirts back there for Broadmeadow. Aquino gets away from Demir. Eifeld plays it to French now, and French away down the far side of the ground on the left. Still French. He was looking for Cummings in the middle. Couldn't find the cross. But Magic starting to run rampant over Edgeworth. 63 minutes into the game, 80-minute match, 40 minutes a half in the under-19s and the 22s. Here on Bar TV. Great to have your company on Grand Final Day 2015. And another change now for Edgeworth. It's number 14 who's come on, Cody Armstrong from Westlakes. And Westlakes Wildcats was his junior club. 20 games this year for Edgeworth. Aquino are now over on the far side of the ground. Tackle. Getting there was Duggan. And now McAuliffe. He's got some space over here with Cummings, and he's just offside.
Tell you one thought that's going through my head during this game is, even though they're not in the grand final today, Western must be a really, really good side to finish first over this Magic team, because Broadmeadow have been brilliant today in all areas. I think they've turned over a bit of ball in the midfield, but they've still been very good. Their defence has been strong. Still, they haven't conceded a goal. The keeper hasn't had much to do, but when he has been called into action, he's done well. And their front men are absolutely putting in a brilliant performance today. Cummings over here in front of us, and Trent French. He's everything you want in a striker. He's really quick. Here we see him running away now.
Well, French, he's caused problems. I'll just say there was a change for Edgeworth. Rourke Armstrong coming onto the ground, the number 12, and as French made that break down the left.
Yeah,
Who are you sitting on at the moment? Who are you thinking your man of the match is at the moment, Blake?
I think it's a two-way tie between French and Cummings, but at the moment,
There's McAuliffe on the ball. He had a shot, but was going wide.
At the moment, Cummings is definitely in front, but you never know. Any one of their defenders could take the prize as well, because they've put in a brilliant performance as well today. So I think Magic all around have been great here.
What do you think's been the issue with Edgeworth out there today? Do you think they've been overawed by the occasion, or do you think Magic are just too good a side? We saw how both sides placed after the end of the season. Magic 39 points, Edgeworth 29. That is a big gap.
Yeah, I think Magic have just risen to the occasion better. They settled in quicker. I keep saying, but after 10 minutes, I said that they were definitely the side that settled first. And I think it definitely tells, I don't know what the circumstances were, but in round 11 here, Edgeworth beat Magic 4-1 on this park. So for Magic to turn that around, I know that they might have had a bad day. They were the better side over the season. They finished ahead by 10 points, but winning 4-1 here,
it's a real
Edgeworth,
surprise,
yeah,
isn't it?
It's a testament to how they play the game. So I think Magic have just definitely risen to the challenge better today. And I don't know what sort of grand final experience their players have at youth levels, but they look really comfortable.
Brendan Hayes goes back to Fairhall. Now Holes stabs it up towards Garland. After it was Armstrong. Here's Williams.
It's amazing to look at the difference as well between the circumstances of the 19s and the 22s grand final. The 19s, both of these sides won their semi-finals extremely narrowly. I think there was only one goal in both. 2-1 to Edgeworth, and
it was 1-1 and 1-0 Edgeworth.
Yeah,
the second leg was 1-1 and the first leg was 1-0. So yes, it was extremely tight against Western.
2-1 on aggregate there, and I think Magic beat Hamilton 3-2 on aggregate.
Yeah.
But then you look at the 22s, and I think one was 8-1 and one was 7-1. I know I was at the game that the emerging Jets under 18s boys absolutely thrashed Hamilton. That was 6-1.
Second leg was only 1-0 to the Jets, but they'd already done the job by that point. So, yeah, that'll be an interesting grand final, Edgeworth and the emerging Jets.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It will be. Edgeworth have a lot of the quality players that could slot into first grade sides. I know Don Bazzari's played about 12 first grade games, and he's an ex-first grader at Valentine, and he's played overseas in Italy. So I think it's going to be a cracking game, whereas the Jets youth have a lot of youngsters that'll definitely rise to the occasion. They were in the grand final last year, which they lost to Hamilton, so they'll be expecting a win. Mind you, they're the only side out of the 6 teams in this year's grand finals that are in their respective grand final. There's 2 new faces in the first grade, there's 2 new faces in the 19s, and there's a new face in the 22s in Edgeworth.
Well, Jaden Sayeda just going off the ground there. Try and get the number player, the man who has come on, but here's a ball back post. Melmoth controlling and going down and grabbing. It's number 13 for Broadmeadow Magic. John Nezovic has come up front for them. Should apologise for Jaden. I called him Matteo Mazzatini when he scored the goal, so unfortunately not great for him, but you know, it's not every day that it gets filmed. So I think it's great that the 19s is on Bar TV this year.
Yeah, I'm sure he won't mind. You've gone back and corrected yourself, but it was a
Might have to cut it out and redo it.
it was a cracking goal.
Tyson Cummings with the back heel and then Sayed to finish with his left foot. It was beautiful stuff. Hayes with the free kick now for Edgeworth. So I think the game is pretty much all done. The final 10 minutes will just be played out, and the Edgeworth players will probably want to get off the ground after this performance. But it was a great effort for them to get into the grand final, knocking over Western as well. It's just, do you think Edgeworth have given as good as what they've been throughout the season today, Blake, or do you think they were a little off the pace, off colour today, I should say?
I don't think they've been off colour. They could have improved in a few areas. You know, grand finals, you've got to take your chances in those two that they didn't take in the 15th and 17th minute. They come back to haunt you. But I think Magic have just outplayed them today. Magic, they've settled in quicker. Most of their players have had really good games. Usually in grand finals, it's, you know, everyone's just trying to do what they have to not stuff up. But a lot of these players have showed what they're made of. And I think just as we keep on going on about it, but the tackle from Adam Duggan, that's just one example of. Do you
think that's the turning point today?
Yeah, you could say it's the turning point. Maybe not the exact turning point. I think you could put two things down to make one turning point, which is that tackle and then the goal a minute later. I think that passage of play is the turning point. But if you had to pick one of them, yeah, you'd definitely say that tackle is the turning point, because if he doesn't get back there, or if he gives up, that's a goal. And Edgeworth go one ahead, but instead he charges it down, forces a corner, Magic win the ball back and go down the other end and score.
Well, Trent French comes from the ground. Big claps from the Magic faithful, and now coming on is the number 12, Brodie Williams, Curry Roosters Junior and grand finalist last year in the under-17s. And Riley Houlihan as well out there, the number 2. He was the captain of the under-17 side that made the grand final last year. In the under-17s, they went down 4-3 on penalties to Hamilton in the under-17s. Last year, so a great year for Broadmeadow this side in the under-17s, and they've turned up again in the 19s and all but done the job now. Whipped into the middle by Garland, straight down the throat of Hill Clancy. Like to keep the scoreline, the goal scored by Edgeworth to 0, keeping him a clean sheet in the grand final. It's a fantastic achievement. As on the ball for Edgeworth. Over the top was Van Kemenard. Down towards the corner is Brower. Played it back straight to Williams, who knocked it up the ground. So Edgeworth, a little bit of field position for them now. Aquino. Lovely ball from McAuliffe. It was a beautiful ball, and Magic are in here. Comes to the keeper. Well, it was a good job for Fairhall to get there, but Broadmeadow Magic put another one in. A fantastic goal from Brodie Williams. He just came onto the ground, and he's finished it almost immediately. It'd have to be close to his first touch, I think, there, Blake. And he's put it past Jake Fairhall, as I said, made a good job to get a hand on it. But unfortunately, pushed it into the bottom corner. And it is 4-0 now to Broadmeadow. Here's Garland. And Brodie Williams on the ball. Now across to Lambert. Well, Blake, I went to watch my brother's grand final yesterday. They got beat 5-0. So Edgeworth, similar scoreline here today. They so demoralising. Get to a grand final, all that excitement, and then you just get blown out of the water. Ferguson going down. Ensure that Hill Clancy picks it up. there'll be a lot of these players, I think, Blake, that will be going up into 22s next year and playing, whether they stay with Edgeworth or go to other clubs. It's up to their decision, but I'm sure there's plenty of quality out there for Edgeworth and Magic. I'm sure a lot of these players can step up and play 22s from what we've seen. Tyson Cummings, who we've thought one of the best players out there, along with McAuliffe, 16 years old, and he's been outstanding today.
Yeah, I didn't know that. For a 16-year-old in the under-19s grand final to play the way he has, it's a massive credit to him.
On the ball now is Brower. Edgeworth get the free kick. I didn't quite see what that was for.
Yeah, it was just a late little clip there after the pass from, I think it was Rourke Armstrong. It's Armstrong about to take the free kick.
Yeah, all of Edgeworth's bench are 16 years of age. And as it's whipped in, thought there may have been a handball there against Edgeworth, but there is an offside anyway. Magic will get the free kick. So ticking down here, Grand Final Day 2015 on Bar TV, the NPL Under-19s Grand Final. There's Megan Holgate on that far side of the ground, the offside.
I think it's a very good thing. I don't know who to give credit for here. If it's for Northern with the way they've put the youth into play, whether it's the clubs for the way they're. We'll come back to no, we won't. With the way that they're coaching and developing their youth. But I remember when I played under the 19s, I was 19. Most of the players in my team were, or I played 2 years of 19s. Most of the players in both times were 18 or 19, and most of the teams around me had 18 and 19-year-olds. There weren't many young players, and I don't remember there being any 16-year. Well, there might have been the odd 16-year-old, but I don't remember anyone ever having a bench full, or a player like Cummings who changed the game as a 16-year-old, and that was only back in 2012 and 2013. I played 19s.
Well, Blake, I should also mention Lewis Young, number 8 for Edgeworth. He's 15, so that's taking it to a whole nother level, and he's been pretty solid out there, Lewis Young. He's off the ground now, but number 8 for Edgeworth. I'm just having a quick scan. I'm pretty sure he's gone off the ground, but that's great, especially for him. 15 years, and you're putting yourself against a majority 18, 19-year-olds. As here goes Armstrong down the sideline. Aquino keeps it in. Now here is Cummings on the ball. I'll try and, as we got an offside over there against our goal scorer from a few moments ago. It was Brodie Williams. And he was the golden boot for the under-15 elites for Broadmeadow Magic, Brodie Williams. 18 years of age now. So are you leaning to Tyson Cummins, or are you going with McAuliffe or Duggan? There's been plenty of outstanding performance for Broadmeadow out there today. Just see if Edgeworth can. We're not going to.
Yeah, I think when there's plenty of brilliant performances, like there has been, you've got to give it to a player who's made an impact. I think Duggan, did make that brilliant tackle, but I think you can't look past Tyson Cummings. He scored that first goal, and he brilliantly set up that second one with that was some great vision and a great little back heel. So I couldn't look past him today.
Edgeworth with just an injury here. Looks like a hamstring going down is Paul Hulls, 18 years of age. Cunwell Warnervale Rovers Football Club down Central Coast Way. 18 games for the season, so just down. Bit of a... It looks in a lot of pain, does Paul Holtz. So we tick down towards full time. So I'll try and see if we can have a chat to Tyson Cummings at the end of the game. Run out and see what we can do, but if not, he's our man of the match for this game here today. As we see, you can see the Jets youth. When we zoom out a little bit on that far side, there's the Jets youth just in the background going to warm up for their grand final. You'll be on the mic for that one, Blake. What are your thoughts? Who do you think will get the job done?
Yeah, I'm tipping the Jets youth. Just like the 19s, I haven't watched much 22s this year, which is disappointing because really enjoy the under 22s, but I know they were only 2-0 when Hamilton got a send-off the other night, but the way that they powered on and got 6, they were extremely strong, and I think it's going to be a brilliant game, and I wouldn't be surprised if Edgeworth win, but my tip is the Jets youth.
So it's not looking good for Paul Holtz. It looks like he may have torn his left hamstring. He's holding that area. And they're getting the stretcher for him, so not great for him. Don't know if the referee's going to play too much injury time considering the scoreline. Just ticking over the 40-minute mark now, so 40 minutes a half in the under-19s.
Really sums up Edgeworth's day, doesn't it? Like we talked before the game with the last name that he has on him, Holtz, that he could provide a lot to this grand final, and you just see the way he's leaving the game, going off on a stretcher with looks like to be a serious injury. We thought Edgeworth could give a lot to today and make a real grand final out of it, maybe an underdog story coming in from 4th and winning, but it's Broadmeadow who've won today. Ben's going to go down to the field to get an interview with the man of the match. I'll just quickly run through some of the goals, all of the goals rather. The first one coming in the 18th minute to Tyson Cummings, who ran onto a through ball, drove it into the bottom left from just inside the 18-yard box. That was to the left of screen. In the second half, to the right of screen, Jaden Sauter scored in 5 minutes into the second half in the 50th minute. Ran onto an awesome flick by Cummings and drove into the bottom right from the left-hand side. 10 minutes into the half, in the 55th minute, McCulloch scored. It was Trent French with a brilliant cutback, and he struck it first time. McCulloch found the back of the net, even though Fairhill maybe should have saved it. And then the last goal came 7 minutes from full time in the 73rd minute through Brodie Williams, who he ran onto a one-on-one. And Fairhill again got a hand to it, but it made its way into the bottom right-hand corner. And we're now going to go to Ben, who's with Cummings.
I'm here with our Bar TV man of the match today, Tyson Cummings. And Tyson, congratulations on the grand final win. What did you think of today's performance?
Oh yeah, we put in well. I thought the boys did well all season, but to come out and top it off like that was just brilliant. I loved it.
What were you thinking going into the game? Of course, they'd beaten Western, the side that had finished as minor premiers this year. What were your thoughts about Edgeworth? You played them twice, 1 win and 1 loss.
Yeah, the first game we played them, I thought we could do them. So last couple of games the last game against them was pretty rough, and against Western that was a pretty good strong side for us, but came off well. So I'm pretty happy with that. Yeah.
Now, you're only 16 playing in the 19s competition. How's it been this year, and how great is it for your confidence playing against a lot of older boys?
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Good for the physicality as well, improving well. So hopefully you can make the jump next year as well to 22s if I can do it.
Well, good luck next year. Congratulations on the win, and thanks for chatting to Bar TV, Tyson.
Thank you.
Thanks for that, mate. Thanks.